Welcome to this Leveraging AI Intelligence for ESOs session, which will be led by Joanne Bessier. My name is Brian Derito. I lead projects and membership management here at Assek. And I'd like to thank you for making time this morning to participate. So this session is 3 hours long and will be led by Joanne from Tech Mindset, one of the very best AI hubs within Eastern Central Africa, I think, as well as Africa. And we'll try and keep it as interactive as possible. So feel free to ask questions. Also ensure that your mic is muted at all times. If you have questions, you can just lift your hand and use the chat function. As we start, start by introducing yourself in the chat box, and we will take it from there. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Joanne to proceed with the session. John, please proceed. John, if you're speaking, you're on mute. Unfortunately, we can not still hear you. Am I the only one?
We can't hear her.
So still can't hear you.
Testing 1 or 2. Testing.
We can hear you now.
Okay, great. I think it was a setting my Zoom button. All right, a very good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and thank you for being here. I'm so glad to be with you. But before I start, just give me 1 minute to just adjust on something. I'll be with you. Just actually 30 seconds. Just 1. I was trying to adjust the light, but I think we are good to go. So as Brian has introduced me, humbly taking the introduction, thank you very much, Brian. It is a wonderful morning and happy to be with you today. And I am so excited on this particular session because it is what I do every day. And when I feel that the only time I feel that I am fulfilled is when I see my peers or people I facilitate or people I work with utilize AI even when they didn't have to know about where it came from. So today's session is going to be one of those sessions. It's going to be a session where we are going to engage and we are going to practice and we are going to make sure that whatever we do, we will test one tool before leaving that we can use in our own organization. Why is this important today? Though this is going to be part of the session, it is important because businesses, and I possibly you have heard this, but I don't think I say it enough. Businesses, career people, career men and women, professionals, learners in institutions, our youth, our children, in the next few years, I know AI is here, but in the next few years, it will be very, very difficult to leverage as a business, to leverage as a professional, to be employed in future of work where you're going to a company to go for an interview. The first thing is, as a matter of fact, as we speak this particular area, people do not care. Employers don't care what your skills are, what they want to know. How best can you maximize on artificial intelligence? And that is the reason I believe possibly some of us are here, others are here to understand how to make their business work efficiency. And this is the thing, World Economic Forum, and possibly most of you have read this particular report, is that 90 million, over 90 million jobs, I think it's about 97 million jobs are going to be lost. 97 million jobs. But the beauty side of it is that 170 million jobs are going to be created. Right? These are very interesting statistics, especially for the year 2025, because then it keeps on, it gets us asking, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn? The next contracts or the next business pitch, possibly your clients will be asking, are you able to help us use AI? You know, as you serve us, what are you going to tell them? Or how faster can you, give us our services? And of course, now that becomes a burden to you as an entrepreneur or as a business person, because this client wants this delivered now, otherwise they move. Our current clients today have a higher attrition rate than anyone else because businesses are global. So what we want to know and understand, how can we get faster? How can we get more efficient? How can we use AI for our other businesses, our clients? How can we help them work better? How can you serve them better? And so on and so forth. And even if you are not necessarily going to be affected by AI, please remember the generations that are coming after you automatically are going to be in the space. But how do you lead them? How do you lead them if you do not have now that knowledge? How do you give from an empty cup? That is the question I want us to ask today. Honestly speaking, without having just to join this class because AI is trending. I do not facilitate because AI is trending. I started speaking about AI even before it was trending. I had, for example, I would have a room full of like 20 people. By the time I'm done, I have only 2 people in the room, but I'll keep on speaking, I'll keep on evangelizing, I'll keep on talking about AI because I have used it. I have been impacted, I have learned about it, and it is my responsibility to make sure that as Kenya and also as Africa, we are at the forefront of artificial intelligence. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to be part of this conversation. So before we start, and I know you had a form where you feel exactly where you want AI to help you, but I'm also a big believer when we do this together and everyone sees the results live. So I'm going to use a tool called Menti. Possibly some of you have used it, just to ask about 3 questions to help me understand where we are at in terms of AI and our ESOs, and also what areas do we believe we need to learn most, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence implementation. This is no code class. This is no programming class. You only need to know how to use a computer. And the fact that you're in this meeting, I'm sure that you do. So I'm going to share my screen very briefly into that, and please give me your honest answers. This will help us and also your colleagues in this particular room to understand where we are all at and what direction we need to take in the same regard. So tell me when you see my screen. All right, so this is what is going to happen. Confirm that you can see my screen. Someone just unmute. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
All right, go to your phone or your what do you call this? Your laptop or any device that you're using, your tablet. Go to menti.com. Once you get to menti.com, please put in the code you can see on the screen. All right. Go to menti.com, and when you ask for the code, please put on the code that you are seeing on the screen. I'll give you about 1 minute to do that. Since I cannot use your since I cannot see from the audience, maybe you can tell me by maybe 1 or 2 people say ready, and then I can start. Tell me that you're inside Menti.
Hey,
There's
Joanne.
no code on the screen.
Yeah, there is no code.
Sorry?
We can't see the code. Probably it's screen ratio quality.
Menti.com.
It's good
Can you
now.
see
We
now?
can see it.
Oh, okay. I
You
think
can see
my
it now.
bar, yes. Okay, my bar had covered it. Thank you for that.
Once again, we can't see it.
Joan, maybe you could share it in the chat just for
Yes. The code is 54282994. 54289994. I'm putting it in the chat. Five, four. Two, 994. In any case, you have not joined. Okay. Great. I can see the answers coming in. Please continue. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how could you rate your understanding of how AI can specifically, especially benefit ESOs? So 1 is you don't understand, and 5 is you do understand. So I can see we are 20, and I will possibly say 9, 10, around 15 have so far answered this. Please help me in answering this. Maybe 2 or 3 more. I'll be glad to get that feedback. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your understanding on how AI can specifically benefit ESOs? In any case, you have not joined Menti, please join by going to menti.com. I have put the chat there. I've put the code on the chat. All right, so we'll move on to the next. Thank you very much. I can see 2 people most people do not understand how AI can specifically benefit you. So that is very good. Then that means that is our area of focus, and 1 person possibly does not really understand, but we have most people who understand, a few people who understand that how AI can be used in ESO. So we'll go to our next question, if that is okay. Let me just click on this. We have 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Help me answer the next question. I hope you're seeing the next question. Which areas of your ESO's operations do you think could benefit most from AI tools? So here you can put anything, the fact that most of us understand how AI would benefit our ESOs. Which areas of your ESO operations do you think benefit most from AI tools? Is it your accounting? Is it your marketing? Is it your customer support? Is it your program management? I would love to know that. Please put your responses. Program management, absolutely. Marketing, data analysis, market research. I get a lot market research. I get a lot of market research. Please keep on filling in the answers. Program management, accounting, I agree. Program management, mostly program management, data analysis, project. I've not seen project management. This is one of the things that I also get a lot. Quality management, I respect that, right? Quality management. Yes, that is one of the things that we also use when it comes to AI. Good, thank you. So you can see market research, analysis, customer support, program management, data analysis, market research, again, operations, data analysis. Interesting, one of the tools that we're going to use today is analyzing data and so on and so forth. Sorry about that. Okay, so the next question is, what do you see as the biggest challenge in adopting AI tools? So possibly we might know about AI tools, but there are those challenges we as ESOs are finding difficult in going ahead and adopting this for your organization. Love to hear that. Lack of creativity. Sorry, my bar is understanding the concept, lack of creativity. Okay. Is that the reason? Lack of creativity. Yes, I've seen that twice. Absolutely. Learning prompt engineering so as to maximize AI. This is interesting. This is interesting. I think, let me put this down. Before we leave here, I think I want us to just touch a little bit on prompt engineering. Okay. I'm going to add it. I've always wanted to speak about this, but I didn't think it's a need for this class. So thank you for this feedback. I would very, very likely, if we get time, would love to discuss about this. Organization accepted AI strategy to incorporate them in our day-to-day work. Okay, so maybe I'll ask this person, do you mean the organization has to accept the AI strategy to incorporate? Is that a challenge? Okay, inadequate training on use of AI. Brilliant. That's the reason why we are here. Implementation skill and know-how, acceptance, change used to traditional method. Yes, I've seen that a lot. We keep on using traditional methods. We do not want to change, not necessarily to change. We feel that if we move away from what we know, we might lose it. So the other are cost implications. In fact, I thought this would come number one, cost implications, understanding the concept, technical know-how. Thank you for your honest feedback. Maybe we can have two more. Two more, anyone else? Too many AI tools, search engines in place. I thought so. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. What do I use? There are too many. And sometimes, I said, let me just, do what I know how to do. But there's one thing, and possibly you'll agree with me, don't you think there would be one dominant one amongst many of the tools that we come across? And I know so many people keep talking about it, and sometimes you wonder then, why are people talking about it but not doing? Okay, thank you for your feedback. Thank you very much. Let me end the member inadequate creativity and so on and so forth. I will stop to share my screen. Thank you very much. That is absolutely amazing feedback. We'll keep on looking into that. It is data that I have. And then at the end of this session, I will be able to share a post session that will help us understand from where we are in not understanding, possibly on how to implement, or which AI tools can I use. There are too many, there are the dominant ones, and two, have I identified what can work for me? So I will try much as possible to keep you engaged, but if you have any question, I have my team members in this team, please put it on the chat and I'm able to read as we move on. If you do not understand anything, don't let me move on. And for house rules, for the sake of our house rules, let's make sure that we all keep our microphones on mute, so that we get to understand each other. And also, I would encourage you to put your videos on. I really, really would have loved us to have this experience as if it's a physical session. If you are in a position, please put on your video. I'm glad to see you and engage with you. But in case you're not talking, please unmute your audio. And if you have any question that does not have to necessarily have a stop at that particular moment, please put it on the chat and we'll get back to it and view it. So let us get straight into what we are here to learn. I'm going to share my presentation right now. And as we do that, I want us to start thinking about our world. I want us to have an open mind. Let us approach this in an open mind. Sometimes, possibly some of us know a lot about AI. That is good. They're brilliant, But every day we keep on learning. I keep on learning every day myself. And it would be good that you come in with an open heart, with an open mind and a receptive heart, so that we get to understand mostly what we're doing and be open to receive that. So allow me to share my screen. There we go. And I'm going to put it on slide mode. Okay. Is that too small?
It's still loading.
Oh, it's still loading. All right. So let us wait for it to load.
It's
I'd
loaded
love
on my
to-
end. You just need to put it in presentation mode.
Okay. If it's loaded on your end, I would love to go to the slideshow itself. All right, so this is an association of startups and SMEs, enablers of Kenya. And today we are unlocking efficiency and innovation in artificial intelligence tools for ESOs. All right. So, again, don't have to go through this, but you understand that this is Assek Learning Week. As I said again, I'm so glad to be part of this initiative. And what we want to do is to build and empower a pillar of engagement in conducting learning. And for me personally is AI, and focus on sharing, implementing best practices in artificial intelligence so that we support each other as ESOs, because I am an ESO myself and I support a lot of small organizations and medium organizations into implementing artificial intelligence. Now that we understand the objective, what are we going to learn? We are going to brainstorm what artificial intelligence is, and also we are going to, what we've done is just brainstorming to get to understand the capacity of AI in our ESOs, and then we're going to delve deep, not deeply, very quickly into what artificial intelligence is and why, as ESOs, should we care, all right? And also go further and look at elements of AI, because as much as we want to apply AI tools, why don't we understand exactly what are these AI tools? How were they developed? When you bring an AI person to help you in leveraging or adopt an AI tool, it's very important that you know where you're coming from, because possibly you might hire a data scientist, even on internship. But if you cannot guide them on what kind of information they should collect for you to train your machine, or to understand what they're doing for you, highly likely, and most of the times, you'll find yourself implementing tools that might not help you, and you'll get frustrated in the process and wonder why you're doing it in the first place. And then we'll get to understand why we should care, and we'll go to details on how to explore these AI tools. And in the process, we will do breakout sessions, and we'll get into very quick groups and try out some some tools for our own benefits. I'm going to share what we're going to do, because by that time we would have tried, or you would have seen some of the AI tools. And then we come back into the session and take about 3 minutes where you have a representative to talk about the tool that you used, and generally how you would use it to solve a particular situation or challenge. And then lastly, we will finish with strategic integration and what will be the next steps of understanding AI and its tools. And then we'll have finally post-evaluation, as it was earlier indicated. Okay, so what do you expect to go with by the end of this session? You will understand the basics of AI and its relevance to ESOs, identify key areas where AI tools can streamline ESOs' operations, explore and experiment with various AI tools. We'll make sure of that. Develop a practical approach for integrating AI into your organization, recognize the opportunities and potential challenges of using AI. The duration is going to be 2 hours, so we should be finalizing. Let me see. We should be done with this class. Oh, where I am, my time is 8, so that would be 10:40, 11, around 12:40. Sorry, we'll be finishing around possibly 1 p.m. Possibly 1 p.m. if I get it right, and 11, 12, yes. All right. I want you to put on the chart. All right. I want you to put on the chart what you think about that one thing that if you had a chance to automate, your time will be well spent elsewhere. I want you to think of that one thing that if you had a chance to automate, your time will be best spent elsewhere. You know, maybe chatting with friends or spending more time with your children or, you know, going out for a party or traveling. You know, what is that one thing that if you had to automate today, you would be so happy to focus or refocus your time somewhere else? My sleep, I love that. Do you know, Joe, yes, if I had time to sleep more, that is one thing I'll do. Yes, writing fundraising proposals concepts. If you had to automate writing fundraising proposal concepts, I will show you what tool you can use to do that more accurately. Cooking. If you had to automate cooking, okay. And here's the thing. There's this a Shark Tank story. I don't know how many of you have watched or are watching Shark Tank. There is this application of an AI tool where you know, an AI machine, basically it's like an application that is connected to the gadgets in the kitchen, is able to make you any meal that you want by using all you need to do is get into your phone, select the menu, select what exactly you want to eat. Is it Indian food? Is it githeri? Is it mokimo? Is it whatever it is that you want to eat? And given the ingredients that are in that machine, all you need to do is to give it just about 5 minutes, because everything has been pre-prepared in that menu. It will get what it has, warm it up, and in 3 minutes serve you from where you're seated. So yes, and Shark Tank invested in that technology. So I'm hoping that we see it working so that we can license it back here at home. HR processes, absolutely. One of the tools that we might highly likely use when we find time is how to hire, you know, and other areas of HR, you know, how to onboard, prepare training materials, absolutely. We heard that it's like you're reading my mind, and we are on this together. One of the tools we do is, for example, how to create content materials for your trainings and so on and so forth. On more serious business, responding to customized queries and quotes. AI chatbot, that is possible. Conflict resolution, employee wellness, absolutely. There are AI tools, and here I'm talking about tools that we know like ChatGPT that can manage conflict and employee wellness. Mental health. I'm going to show you how you can use ChatGPT for mental health and awareness. Real-time responses to inquiries. Again, AI chatbot, one of the tools that we are going to explore. Weight loss. I do this every day. As a matter of fact, anytime I feel I want to detox or lose my weight in the next 10 days, in the next the 30 days, 1 year, I use an AI tool to help me understand what do I need to do specifically. So I'm so glad that we are all on the same page, and thank you so much for your responses. We will move on. Let's see what we're looking at. So here, generally, possibly highly likely, most of us know what artificial intelligence is. It's generally how we enable or train our machines to learn from data that we give it and perform tasks on basically what or who we are as human intelligence. Now, this is what I mean. When you're training a machine to help you do what it is that you do every day, that is artificial intelligence. And what we want to understand is, how do you train this machine? How do you do this, and we're going to get more into details. But the general world of AI is to train a machine so that it may learn from data to help you do some of the tasks that we do every day. So it requires human intelligence to perform. So AI cannot do without human intelligence. A very good example is, for example, AI can analyze your client data as long as you can, show its data. You can show it the Excel sheet that you have or the feedback form that you have. It's able to identify certain key points that your customers might want to receive or services they might want to receive, and give you suggestions of decisions that would help you make decisions at the end of the day. We are going to look at such examples. So if anyone asks you, for example, you're using AI, what do you understand by it? The simplest way you can tell them is, how to train a machine to do exactly what I do to our children. And I do this a lot, is that, how do you explain to a 2-year-old, for example, what AI is? And I got an interesting answers in one of the sessions that I was training. One of them said, it's like telling a child to do what mommy does. And I found that so profound. Absolutely. What mommy does, what daddy does. It's exactly what it is in the simplest form. And in that regard, in any case, you want to understand more about AI, please let me know. I'm happy to elaborate more, but it's just that it's machines learning from the data that we give it, and not trying. It's generally doing what we are supposed to do so that we can focus on better tasks. And what kind of machine? That's a very good question. When we talk about machines here, we are talking about AI applications. So when we talk about machines, there's so many outputs of AI. Let me just take 2 minutes to go into details. When you're talking about AI outputs, it could be a computer, enabled AI, where you just feed it with data and it gets to give you the information that you want. A very good example is ChatGPT. That's an AI machine that is trained to, think and talk like us. And with ChatGPT, its output can be text. For example, the text that you receive back from it could be audio. These days, it's enabled to give us feedback through audio, or could be visual. These days, you can use ChatGPT to create images and other ways of training machines. Which are the machines that, if you have seen people talk about this, and we've seen this in movies, robots, you have a robotic rendition of an AI machine which has been trained to serve you. We have a robotic machine that currently works at the CBD to serve. That is another output of machine. That machine was trained to identify, service or requests by customers, get the meal from the kitchen and deliver it to the customer. So that is the kind of machine. Sometimes the machine can only be an arm. For example, if it's something serving you coffee or tea on a vending machine, that is an AI. So basically, when we talk about machines, it's an AI-enabled device that will be the output for you at that particular time to use. So for ChatGPTs, for example, is your computer screen or your platform that you're using to engage with AI. For physical robots or in a manufacturing setup, it will be physical robots that are helping or working hand in hand with factory teams and so on and so forth. In let's say business vendors, and here we're talking about even street vendorship. If we get to a place where we have robots helping us to serve or to market loudly, like the way we hear in our Nairobi streets and whatever town you're coming from, we can even have AI robots do that. I don't know if you've recently seen a very big robot outside a particular bank in Nairobi that just says hi and welcomes you. People have started using the output. These are machines that have been trained. Generally, it's a very small chip that has been trained with data to give the output that you and I can understand in our normal world. I hope, Jack, I have answered you in that endeavor. So thank you very much. So let's let's move on to the next session, the next page. So the question is, how do they learn? Now that we understand, we're training machines to do what we do. And maybe just give one more example to Jack. If you want, and I know this is something that is being tested right now. You see the machines that you use to clean your house, right? They are being enabled through IoT, that is Internet of Things. These are sensors, and given the capability of AI, once you buy that particular machine, it moves around your house to understand the structure of your house. So it will, once you open it up, just put it on the floor first. It will go around houses, and it will be like an insect, right? When it reaches a particular corner, it stops and turns left or turns right. What it's doing, it's mapping, it's training. That is training a machine. It's training itself how to identify your house so that it can be able to clean without your intervention. That is learning. That is a machine learning to do what we do every day, cleaning houses. So when it reaches or it hits, for example, a couch on its left or right, and if the structure of your house is not something that is moved every day, then it will always understand, when I get to this couch, if it's penetratable, I can clean, I can lower myself, go under, clean, and come back out in this distance and go back to my original form. Or if I reach a particular corner, I move left. Or if I encounter a carpet, then I change my settings of washing, and I use a carpet scrubber and clean this carpet, and it will map itself, and get to know how lengthy or what is the shape of your carpet, so that it can pour water efficiently, soap efficiently, dry it, and so on and so forth. These are currently tools that are working as we speak. They are not being invented. They have been invented. So that is how they learn. So the question is, how do they learn? And for us to get to understand this, let's understand artificial intelligence and its elements, all right? So artificial intelligence has a subset, which we call the mother of artificial intelligence. It's called machine learning. So machine learning is the umbrella of artificial intelligence. It describes what artificial intelligence does. Artificial intelligence is nothing without data. So when we talk about machine learning, it's feeding a machine or helping a machine to learn by data. It's basically machine getting to know about certain patterns or certain information that you want it to know through data. All right. And I'll give a very basic example. How ChatGPT, and the reason I'm using ChatGPT is possibly this is the most familiar tool that most of us know. How was it trained? It was trained for, and no one knows intricately unless we work inside ChatGPT. These are some guards that they use to manage their business, that they don't devolve to the public. They have collected, and this has been the general assumption and what they have communicated so far, data information from the time we started using internet. Okay, so for example, if you've been writing emails for the past 20 years, 15 years, in certain subjects, official emails, fun emails, emails that have feelings, like you're angry at someone and you're writing them an email, either to soothe them or give them a peace of mind. Information that has been online, psychology information, teaching information, any information that can be found online through websites and so on and so forth. This data was collected by groups of people and fed into a machine, and has been used to give you output that you require. That is machine learning. And I've just given an example, like a household tool that basically learns on how to clean your household without your intervention. This particular machine, before it was developed, was fed millions and millions of data. But by data, we don't mean only text. Here we're talking about data as images. It must have been fed millions of images of households. How does a floor look like? How do you move across a tile? How do you move across a wooden floor? How do you move across tools, surfaces that are familiar and common to us? How do you move across various surfaces? And I think, and I don't know by now, I think the same machines would have the ability to climb walls. How do they defy gravity? They must have been trained using data, imagery data, put through tests of textures and so on to understand how they're supposed to function and so on and so forth. So machines learn, all of them that we're going to talk about, they learn from data. Without data, we cannot understand or know about, AI cannot be in place, or rather AI cannot exist. So the question is, fine, machines can learn from data. How? Okay, so we spoke about data like text, right? So machines can learn from massive data. For example, if you feed it with the Excel sheets full of data, it will try and make sense and give you information or output that you might not have seen using our common tools today that we use to analyze data. Might tell you it seems there's a relationship between cold weather and cold coffees, right? Possibly for you as a normal human being, you'd know, okay, the only time anyone would take cold latte or cold coffee is when it is hot. But maybe your demographic is telling you something different. So these are the uses of AI that you can use. And also machines can learn from images, and we call this computer vision. And this is an example. And I'll show you one of the tools. One of the tools is a machine would be trained to understand, let's say in your clothes factory, right? When you're doing quality management, you do not want to put clothes outside there that have holes or undone buttons, or the collar is bigger, or there are threads lying around your clothing and so on and so forth. And to do that, there are tools that all you need to do is to log in, and with a camera, even your computer camera or your mobile phone camera, it's able to detect this, and you don't have to release it to the market, right? So how has this happened? We have AI tools that can learn from images. When you show it how a defect, for example, cloth looks like, or how something that has been cut looks like, or how a shirt without buttons look like, every time it identifies that. Every morning, for example, if you put your phone across your clothes before you release them to the market, then it will have that ability to give you a notification that blouse red or cloth number 56 should not go. Check this particular issue, and so on and so forth. And an example that possibly also we have seen in the news is Tesla. Tesla has used computer visions to train its cars to drive without a driver. How has it done so? Car manufacturing has been normal, but now these particular cars have been fitted with AI machines to be able to identify when a car approaches, for example, a zebra cross, then it needs to stop. When it approaches a human being in front of it, whether the human being is standing, whether the human being is moving across the road, whether they are lying down or they are near the car is programmed to stop immediately. Or if there's a car in front of it, how was it trained? It was filled with what you call computer vision type of AI, where it was fed millions and millions of data of a human being. All right. So a human being could be tall, could be short, could be black, could be white, could have limbs, could not have limbs, could be running across the road, could be standing still, could have fallen next to the road or next to your car, could be standing in front of your car, could be sitting in front of your car, could be walking on the side. So all this data was fed into a machine to help it realize when there's this entity. A machine does not know this is a human being or not. As long as you train it, and help it to understand when you approach this formation, stop, halt, or make certain decisions. When it says traffic lights, it must have been trained that red means stop no matter what country you are in. As long as you're driving a self-driven car, when it has been trained to understand traffic. So I'm yet to see how that is going to work here. It's going to work for us, you know. And then another example is what I just talked about earlier on in this particular session is the cooking aspect. How did it know about, you know, cooking ingredients? How did it know about how to select menu or identify pantry? Is because it was fed millions and millions of data of that particular menu that is available, how it looks like. So when it is serving, it serves in the same structure, in the same format, and also when it's heating, it gets to understand that when it gets to this temperature, then it is hot already, please serve it, and so on and so forth. So that is computer vision. What are the use cases in our banks and possibly in our homes? And let me use banks because it's more practical as well. When banks enable, I don't know if they're very specific, but I know some banks that have enabled AI to their camera. Why has this been important? It has been important because you can train an existing camera using AI enabler, and that's why we have AI engineers. They do all this work for us. What we do, we pay certain fees, maybe annual fees of licenses to access this technology. Is when someone suspicious walks into a bank, the machine, or rather the camera, has been trained. When you identify just a bead of sweat on someone's face or a certain shake or movement of body, it has been trained to identify nervousness, to identify change in behavior, to identify abnormal behavior from a normal person walking into a bank. So that if we have someone who wants to reach out for a gun, or someone who looks suspicious, immediately it will alert management and give them a prompt. Do we call, you know, security or not? So that is one of the greatest ways that, you know, machines have been trained to see what we cannot see necessarily with our naked eyes. Computers are trained to think like our brain. And here is a very good example. When you put twins together, when a twin and a twin stand face to face and you cannot tell the difference, you know, on just onset looking at them, AI machines have been trained to identify the slightest differences, you know? And here's a very good example. So for example, an AI enabled by a deep learning machine AI tool to identify one twin from another, what it will do, and this is how it will learn. The color, for example, on my forehead and my twin sister forehead has a slight variance. My eyebrow possibly is slightly longer than my twin sister's eyebrow, which is slightly shorter. So what the machine does, it gives all those differences and skin tone and skin color and structure of your eye a code. So if all our eyes, for example, are all in the same position and have lashes that are as long as we are from one to another, they will get the same code. But if there's a slight variance, all right, of my eye, for example, leaning more to my right or slightly lower than my twin sister, it will give it a different code. That is deep learning, a machine going deeper into learning a particular object. Use case, I'll talk about what we know. Kenyan artifacts. Okay, and I love using this because we have our hardworking men and women in our rural areas who create artistic, you know, paraphernalias or products that are now easily being manufactured in areas like China. Okay, so sisal grown in a rural area, and I'm going to talk about my home, Makueni. Sisal, because we do a lot of kiondos, you know, those baskets that we find in supermarkets, and some of us have been gifted by our grandmothers. a sisal that has been or rather a kiondo that has been created from sisal grown in Makueni cannot be found in China, no matter how they manufacture it. Use case is train a machine to understand the details, and this is deep learning, the fiber composition of sisal that has been grown from soil in Makueni. Another example, food. Beans, well, what we call, I don't know what that is in English, my God. Okay, let's talk about things we know. Beans, yellow beans, brown beans, and what we call surambaya in Swahili. It's a type of beans, by the way. Those kinds of, legumes and cereals, they can be manufactured today somewhere in this world. They can be manufactured. But the question is, if we want to control our heritage, if we want to control our authenticity, if we want to control the authenticity of our products, deep learning trained machines are the best to use in this. How do they work? It just needs to put them in a deep learning, or rather a machine, the way you'd have a weighing machine in your kitchen, right? So that particular machine would have been enabled by a deep learning AI tool to identify if this is genuine or not. For your customers, for example, if you want them to authenticate your product, it's actually, when you say it's avocado oil, it's avocado oil. All they need to do is to scan a code. So what they do is they give instructions. They just use their mobile phone. So your customer will use mobile phone, download your application of your organization and scan your product or scan any other product to know if this is genuine avocado oil or not, or is this is genuine yellow beans or not, or these are genuine eggs. By the way, we have eggs manufactured. My God, I don't know where this one is going to. But the beauty is AI is going to help us to remove wheat from the chaff, right? To separate wheat from chaff and make sure that our products, when exported or experienced by someone else from a foreign country or someone else who wants only what is made in Kenya, we can use deep learning tools, and some of them are through apps that we can use on our mobile phones. They just need to scan and get that authenticity. Thing is, you don't even have to understand how they work, but the way deep learning AI tools have been structured is to identify structures of atoms or structure of the molecules in that particular item that you want it to scan. All it needs to do is to go over a kitenge. All you need to do is to go over that kikoi, that Masai kikoi. All you need to do is to go through those beads, understand their authenticity. Were these made by our women or men? Was this sisal genuine, or is this something that has been imported? Then it controls our heritage, it controls quality control, it gives us business, because then money comes back to us because we get to sell what comes from us and we get to get paid as a result. I hope that is as clear as possible. If I am not clear, please unmute and don't let me move forward without addressing your concern. But if it's a question that can wait, I'll put it on the chat, and we are happy to understand, or rather to get back to your question and answer you as best as I can. Again, machines learn through text and audio, right? And we know about this. We've spoken about this. ChatGPT, Gemini, AI Studio by Google. You can train a machine through text. So just feed it lots and lots of data, or feed it audio data when you're trying to get it to understand voice, or translate voice into text, or text into voice, especially for our PWD communities. By PWD, I mean people with disability community. These are the best cases that have been used to revolutionize these industries, right? How do you, for example, teach a class or rather a person who cannot hear, by translating the lecturer's or the coach's voice into that person's mobile phone through text, or someone who cannot see by translating what is being written on the board to voice on that person's mobile phone. So we have machines that can be trained to translate text or audio into text or audio at the same time. By creation, sorry, I think that is a misspell. By creation, that means we no longer have to, use other people's creation to express ourselves. All we need to do is to use generative AI. Generative AI is a machine that has been learned to get different types of sources of data to create something unique. ChatGPT, when you put in a prompt, help me to create an email of resignation. Now, please remember that how many people have written resignation letters from the onset of computers, and that data can be found online? Billions and billions of people. So what ChatGPT does, it picks the sentiment in which you want to write a resignation letter. So it will pick, for example, the sentiment of one statement or just one letter. I come before you today. I feel like I am not satisfied. So it will pick that sentence from one data and pick another one from a data that was done in Singapore, another one by someone, in Kenya, and so on and so forth. So it brings together this one letter of resignation that mirrors what you've told it. And I think that's where prompt engineering is. So, for example, if I want to write a resignation letter, I'll tell ChatGPT, write for me a resignation letter that has no mercy at all. As a matter of fact, these people have made me angry and I want them to feel exactly how I'm feeling. But don't be disrespectful, but I want the tone to be firm and harsh. There's no one particular person possibly that has written a resignation letter exactly as you have said. So what the computer will do, it will collect millions and millions of data to fit that sentiment, to fit that feeling. There are those who want to resign politely and say, I want to resign, and give very intricate details why I need to resign. And I don't want to have a harsh tone. I just want to politely tell them how they've been treating me is not very well. Please tender my resignation. Another one will come in and say, I want to resign not because anyone has wronged me, but because I've gotten better opportunities. Please make it empathetic as possible so that that particular resignation shows I've gotten bigger opportunities and I'm just growing, but I'm there whenever they need me. So they frame that particular, framework comes out according to how you want it to learn. So how did it do that? That particular process is generative AI. In images as well. Right now, for those who have tried out an application called DAL-E, we are going to see that at work. DAL-E generally creates new image from prompt. So, for example, you as an artist, I don't know if you've been to Java. Allow me to use this particular company because it's mostly common to most of us. Is that they have artistic images on their walls of very interesting, expressions, like a woman in a market carrying a pot on the head and has a mobile phone, that kind. So the beauty is with DAL-E, we can create anything we want, something random completely. Create for me an image of a goat driving a car and is shocked about the movement of the car, or so create for me an image of a water bottle drinking itself, crazy things like that. And we're going to try and randomly create such things. ChatGPT has partnered with DALL-E, and you can create images using ChatGPT. In any case, you do not have a ChatGPT account and you're skeptical about it, please download, take this moment, or even after this session, download it, because there are millions and millions of use cases in that respect. And then another one, the latest innovation, and I'll show you about that, is what we call Sora. And Sora also has been bought by ChatGPT now. Sora is able to create up to 1 minute video on anything that you prompt it to. So for example, you want to create a short film, 30 seconds, about a child struggling to eat a banana because it is not, that child cannot handle it's too slippery. It will create a video that shows a child struggling to handle a banana, and the banana keeps falling down. That is Sora AI. We are going to see some of the renditions it has created today. So AI is getting interesting, but the question is, how do we use it as ESOs? Now, let's look at different AI tools. If you're able, please take a screenshot of this. You might want to use this later. When possibly you want to automate, some of your processes as an ESO. It could be accounting, it could be your, your communication with your clients. It could be anything. It could be data entry. It could be data cleaning or data management. Those are the AI tools that one can use. Again, if it's decision making, generally when you're making decisions, some of the tools that you can use, for example, in data analysis, are things like Cloudy AI. We're going to go through that. AI Studio, we're also going to go through that. It's an AI Studio made by Google. If it's productivity, business analysis, can use Teachable Machine, and so on and so forth. So that we move forward, just take a screenshot, take a photo. We're going to get back to this and see how some of these tools can be used in our day-to-day businesses. Client support, sentiment analysis, feedback from our clients. There's an application called Talk AI. You do not need a code. You just install that in your website, and your clients can start, speaking to you through a chatbot. And for most part of it, it's free. Time management. Now we have what we call Clockify. When your employee comes to work from morning to evening, possibly you might find others working only for 2 hours, but they've stayed in the office from morning to evening. So what is the productivity? Clockify is able to track. All they need to do is to log in. The times they move out and back, the computer is monitored and known how much time at the end of the day did they spend in the tasks that they were given in the organization. Hiring, now we no longer have to go through massive of CVs. LinkedIn has enabled, and this is data, LinkedIn has enabled massive data to train an AI model to identify very specific people whom you need in your organization with certain set of skills. This AI tool is called Loxo. You're able to just tell it that I need a marketing person with 1 year experience who can do content creation and can do so this and this, can speak to client, is confident that has worked with this particular experience, and so on and so forth. It will give you a data set of these people, their contacts, their photos, and will summarize for you, the can shortlist for you the best that will suit what you need, as long as you have informed Loxo exactly and be very specific on what you need. Loxo AI, and it can also help you in onboarding stuff. To organize your work, there are tools like Trello and Asana, and possibly most of us have used this. Social media, content creation, or get you information, or help your employees or your customers to get to know more about your product. We have Smart Talk AI by Craft Silicon, a local organization. I think it's also an ESO. Craft Silicon, those who know it. have developed Smart Talk, and Smart Talk is ChatGPT for your organization. The data that has been fed on Smart Talk is only private to the organization. Now, for example, for new employees who get into your organization with Smart Talk, they're able to ask, for example, what is my expected salary, or where can I find the hiring the hiring manager's office, or you can ask, for example, I want to get promoted from salesperson to a sales executive. What is the expected salary to give you? Or for customers now, again, I'm going to give example of a bank. If a bank uses Smart Talk, then you'd want, as a bank customer, if you're a woman, you'd ask, what products do we have that are suited for men? Smart Talk would be able to identify by the name and the question that you're a woman asking this. It will probably tell you, allow me to give you information of the kind of women products that we have for the bank. Okay, I want to start saving and get 15% annually. With this investment, what product do you have? So it will sift through the bank's data and make sure that it gives you a cocktail of products that align to your question. So that is Smart Talk and can be used even by small businesses. If you want your customers to learn about your organization, all you need to install or help them install is a Smart Talk application. It's on Google Store and Apple Store. What you're able to do with Smart Talk is ask it anything that pertains that particular organization. For people in your organization, they can get to know anything. What is my policy of me getting leave? For my leave days for the year 2025, it will break that down, especially all your rights. So what are my rights as a woman in this organization? It will break down all that as long as the organization has fed Smart Talk. And here we are talking about the AI tool with all that information. Other tools that can be used, for example, in social media and so on and so forth, is what is called Jasper AI and also ChatGPT and Canva and so on and so forth. Okay, take a breath. Let's continue. I can see a question. Maybe we can take a break and address this question. Given the variability of data, it means that there's need for lots of data to help train these machines for them to be able to effectively undertake numerous tasks. Is absence of data a challenge, for instance, in Africa on the development and use of AI technology? Absolutely. All right. But we have one of the gurus of AI, and I don't know if we've heard about him, called Andrew Ng. They're trying to find ways on how you can train machines using minimal data and get optimum results. But until that has been achieved, right now, allow me to request Assek management to admit people. I can see people still coming in there on my screen. Kindly let them in. Okay, back to you, Jack. Right now, we need massives of data, to train an AI machine. Now, unless you are getting into a massive AI project, then you need massive data. But on small scale, for a business or an AI tool that would serve only us, and given a very good example of Smart Talk, you only need data that is related to your organization. Okay? So, for example, if you need to understand how your customers engage with your product, the only data you would require are all the customers that you have served in your organization. So you use data up to the appetite that you require. All right. So all said and done, your question is valid. When you're dealing with a massive AI project, especially for a challenge that is facing Africa, you need massive AI data from Africa, from your target market. That is true. And that is why right now, highly likely there's an ability to train large AI models to work for African data, because the African data is not that available. But we have organizations that have opened up data centers that collect data from our own businesses, our own people across Africa, across different sections, across different industries. Good examples, Konza. Okay, Konza has a massive data center that has mostly data from East and Central Africa. We have Liquid. I don't know if we've interacted with Liquid before as well. They have massive data. And also we have different organizations that have been working on African data for the past few years, since AI made sense. And one of them we've partnered with, and we help them, especially when it comes to training of our teams, is Next Steps Foundation. They have massive data from different industries across our continent. So there are different organizations that can help avail this data. There are those companies that will charge you, but there are those that will avail this data for free. But what I'm saying is we have many AI-related creators are trying to find strategic ways to keep on collecting data to create models that solve our problems. And I know because with the increased use of AI, as long as we keep on putting data out there, we will be able to slowly harness data that is relevant for Kenya, data that is relevant for Rwanda, data that is relevant for Tanzania, and so on and so forth. And our cultural aspects will be fed into this. And I believe not even far, in the next 2 years, we should have data sets that we can access at any given time to train AI models to solve personal data that is relevant to our culture, to who we are, to the challenges that are unique to us. So that is something that is continuous and it's growing. And you're trying to do that also. I'll attest to that as Tech Mindset Africa. Every person that we trained, as we speak, I'm in Nigeria, and like we're working with a university of over 70,000 students. Imagine having all this data, understanding the need of these students, what best would they learn, which countries would they better interact with, which foods would they prefer, so on and so forth. That data will give you the ability to understand spending patterns, will give you the ability to understand economic, challenges, leverage on this data to create great ideas. So as we continue growing, this is data that we will continue using and creating better AIs that understand us more. So I hope I have answered you. I want to give you 3 minutes. Take 3 minutes break. Put in as many questions. I can see questions coming in chat. I will come back and take 5 minutes to answer them. So take 3 minutes. Think about any questions you have in regards to AI so far, what we've spoken about, any misconception or conception on AI, and let's address it after 3 minutes, so that you also take a break. I think I've given you a lot of information. I won't remove my screen. For those who have not taken a screenshot, please do so, especially those who have just joined us. Put your questions on the chat.
Our focus is figuring out against my wife, I'll crush on her. Nothing else matters. She's being held, which neither of us can get from our agencies without tipping off NIF. Well, luckily we have an Assek that can track it down. I have an asset. She is a bad idea. Not good. Very green, completely unstable. My wife's life, stable. There are no bad ideas or assets too unstable to utilize. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello,
Mambo.
what's that, man?
All right. No, I've not seen. Okay, let me answer the ones that are there. I hope that we've taken time to reflect on AI. Can ESOs use AI to have simultaneous translation when training participants who speak different languages from the trainer? Absolutely. There are AI tools that only need to understand your sentiment and translate that either by text or by voice on headphones or earphones. Now, there's an AI application that is being used in conferences. The international conferences where someone speaks in Chinese, another one speaks in Swahili, another one speaks in American. But the translation that comes to you, and this is AI enabled, not necessarily from the people who sit at that glass ceiling up there translating through the microphone. It is replacing this. So I'm telling you just proving exactly what I had told you earlier. AI is replacing 97 million jobs between now and the next 5 years, 2025 to 2030, right? So today, for those conference organizers who do not need translators, have the ability or have access to translate any language in the world, and we have brilliant minds, in Kenya that have already created models that can translate our different languages. For those parents, and this is a subjective matter, okay? I was brought up not knowing my Kamba language, speaking it and so on and so forth. And this is the reason my parents gave. They said because they want me to grow where I can engage anyone, anywhere in the world. And not necessarily, for example, the Kamba community. I'm able to understand, of course, and that was their personal decision, right? Sometimes, of course, I wish I knew some of the Kamba language, but at some point I see and understand why they brought us up in that particular way. But again, today, as diverse organizations, we are dealing with different cultural languages, okay? You might be serving someone in Turkana or someone in Luo, someone in the Kamba, and you don't have to know the language. All you need to do is always make sure that, excuse me, they have your application where they need to put on and how you're selling to them. They just put on the volume and it translates to their language. Good example. If you want to go to Maasai Land and sorry, I'm using this because hey, we all admire. I admire Maasais because they've always kept their rich cultural heritage. If you want to buy a Maasai kikoi or artifacts or beads, like this and so on and so forth, you don't have to compel a Maasai person to speak your language for you to buy from them. All you need to do is to open up your phone and have them speak the Maasai language to tell you about the price, to tell you about the best product that you can buy, or to communicate with them to ask for direction. And it translates to the Maasai and they speak back to that application and it translates immediately to you by voice or by text, no matter how you need. brilliance in AI. So yes, AI today, as we speak, have simultaneous translation platforms that can translate our own local language and or international language. Here we're talking about Spanish, we're talking about French, we're talking about Chinese, and so on and so forth. And as a trainer now, this is an ability that we can, these are tools that we can use today to train any country in the world. All you need to do is to make sure that the people you're training have access to your tool that you would have integrated. I think this would be a good integration for you, Costa. I like that creating an AI tool that can relate to African context, examples, AU agenda will be possible to achieve. Absolutely will be possible to achieve. If, for example, our delegate, the person representing us is Kisii, do you know, then that particular conference will be translated in Kisii, and they would hear Kisii language through the earphones or applications. Absolutely. We are globalizing our services. We are globalizing our interactions. Can we have AI do sign language during virtual training? I will tell you this. One of our trainers' applications, after they were done with training, they were able to create an AI sign language application that can be used online. And this is what I mean. For example, if you use this tool, they have been identified by so many people, by big organizations. Now they're all over the world. They don't even know me anymore. But you see, that's our joy. You see, it's like having joy of your child excelling outside in the world. They don't have to always come back to you because you're their parent. So this is one of the tools where you just need to integrate, and I don't know why Zoom has not integrated that yet. You only need to integrate, put on camera, and any person who does not understand what you're saying, the only thing it shows are hands. It doesn't have to show face. But for those, for example, then it becomes smarter for the people who possibly might not be able to hear, but can only see, can read lip syncing. They can choose that output as their way of understanding the conversation going on virtually. So applications are becoming smarter as a result of AI, and we are able to have, to experience inclusivity in our trainings and so on and so forth. So yes, these have been used today and can have been seen to work. And that's where we are moving. The question is, we need to now start identifying, have that mindset that whatever it is that I'm doing, whether it's serving a market that buys physical goods, or I'm serving a market by content creation, or I'm serving a market by artistry, how can I use AI tools? All right, I hope I've answered your question. So let's get back to the trainings. I want us to explore some of these tools. I'm going to just stop sharing. Let me briefly explain most of them. I want us to start with the simplest, ChatGPT, and I'll give you a reason. I'm not teaching you how to use ChatGPT, but I'm opening up the world of ChatGPT and what it can do today. All right, so we're going to look at ChatGPT. We're going to look at Sora. Remember, we might not go through Sora right now because they have not fully launched it, but I might show you a video that has been created by Sora AI. We can do something quick by Canva and Gamma and Google AI Studio. Grammarly, most of us possibly have seen Grammarly or used Grammarly. It's a Chrome extension. All you need to do is just to download it and have it and install it in your Chrome. And any email or any letter or any content that you write on your computer, it's able to correct your spellings or even change the tone of your content, whatever you're creating. I spoke about talk.2. If you'll have time, please go through talk.2. You can install it in your existing website that does not have an AI chatbot, and it's able to get information. It will ask you massive questions about your organization so that it's able to serve your clients better. And as your clients keep on interacting with it as a chatbot, it will keep on learning and give answers in a few months. Your talk will be able to answer multiple questions regarding your organization that it needs to know. And it's also enabled with large language models to be able to answer any other questions that are not necessarily relatable to your organization. But also, of course, it controls privacy. You can only have it, you can set it in a way that certain information cannot just be released to it. Canva, if you've used Canva, you know the beauty of Canva. You can now create images through Canva. And I think it has incorporated an API by DALL-E and other applications like Midjourney to create social media images, for example, using text. You just need to prompt it, create for me a social media platform that has an ego to show strength, and it will develop that image. We'll look at that very briefly. We have tools like Gamma. You're able to create a presentation like this in just 1 minute, not 1 minute, seconds, a matter of seconds. DALL-E, we've spoken about DALL-E. It's possible to create images using ChatGPT. We can try that. Landing AI is by Andrew Ng, one of the gurus of AI, and you can use Landing AI if you are a person who deals with physical goods, okay? But a person who deals with physical goods, what I had spoken earlier, if for example, you produce a tie and dye materials and you want to train your Landing AI to identify dyes that are not clear, or dyes that are not artistic, or dyes that have gone wrong, then you need to train Landing AI to identify that so that you do not release material that is not good. For those who deal with physical goods again, and you sew clothes, you just have to train Landing AI that if you see these defects, it could be discoloring, it could be clothes clothes that are torn, buttons that are loose. You just need to help that machine. That is when now we literally call machine training. You just register with it. If you'll have time after this session, you can go through it and train a few images. Another tool that works similarly is what we call teachable machine. Help a machine, to help you understand
John, your screen is frozen.
Good morning. My name is Mumbwa Jackson. I work with Joanne in Tech Mindset. So kindly let's just give her a few minutes as I try and get her to get back online. Thank you.
John, we can't hear you.
Is that AI responding or it was an actual assistant?
I think it was an actual person.
Okay.
Testing.
I
Can
think
you hear me
AI
now?
is not happy Joanne is giving us tricks.
So
Machine
yeah,
learning.
so that no, so sorry, I had gone through a blackout. I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
Can
we
you hear?
can.
Oh, great. I wanted to shift to my mobile Wi-Fi so that I don't depend on the hotel Wi-Fi. That way I do not disconnect in any case. We have a lot of blackouts around, so I've connected to my phone. Great. Okay, good. Yes, that was AI not happy with the AI tricks. Good. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay. Go back to good. All right. There is my presentation. Okay. Kindly admit people in the room so that they may join the session. Sure. I hope you can see my screen now. I hope it's big enough, rather. Is it big enough?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and we have interesting other AI tools like Google AI Studio. You know, with Google AI Studio, you can show it, and if you download it on your mobile phone after this session, I'll show you. And you can point to a certain common build. Let me say common because we don't know how far that particular machine has been trained. And ask it, what building is this? And it will tell you, oh, you're asking about Nyayo Stadium? All right, Nyayo Stadium is this, and this. It was created in this and this, and sports people get to do, and the kind of sports that happen, you know. Or if you are in Langata, you want to go to the city center, you just show it, I'm around this place and I want to go to the city center. Which direction do I take? All you need is your mobile phone, you know. So by voice, it will give you direction and tell you, turn your phone to the right. Can you see those matatus written number? Langata matatus are number 15. Is it 15 or 25? Okay. 15. Take those, that public transport, and tell them to drop you at the city center, right? Or tell me about this particular building. So for example, you're showing a phone about KICC, and if that data is available, to tell you about the history of KICC, how many floors it has, who it serves, and so on and so forth. The power of AI. Again, with the same Google AI Studio, you can share your screen and ask Google to help you analyze data. So for example, you have this massive sheet you've gotten after research, and you don't know how to use Power BI, or you don't know how to create data, or you don't know how to clean data. All you need to do is to share your screen and give it prompts, speak to it, and tell it, clean for me this data. And it will ask you, how exactly do you want it to clean? Specify this data by gender, by age, by to show you, okay, Joanne, this is what you're going to do. Click this particular area in your Excel, go to data control, click the fifth menu, says data cleaning, select all your data in your Excel sheet, press that tool, data cleaning, and it will clean. It teaches you on the spot to become a data scientist. Please understand, we have already spoken about replacements of jobs. Now, another thing, and this can be used to train our children. You no longer have to learn how to code. With that same Google AI Studio, and I think ChatGPT can do, ask it generate for me a code to develop a website that can sell my product and so on and so forth. It will create for you that code. If you're a software developer, for example, identify bugs in my coding and help me remove them. It will tell you this line, this now code, and so on and so forth. This is where AI is taking us. Now, enough of talking. Let us go into it. I want us to start with ChatGPT. Okay. And here, possibly, let's talk about the industries that might use, this particular tool. I'll go to ChatGPT. I'll share my screen shortly. But if you're able to go to your ChatGPT, let me give you 30 seconds. If you have a ChatGPT, please log into it and let's do this together, right? If you have a ChatGPT, let's do this together. Wow, ChatGPT is massive. How do I? Let me share my screen. I won't teach you possibly what you know, but I'll teach you different ways you can explore, right? Let me share my screen. Tell me when you can see my screen. Let me go full screen on this. Oh, wait. Let me go to ChatGPT. All right, let me share my screen. If you're on your ChatGPT, we can try out some things together. So, yesterday in one of my meetings, I was using AI tool creation. I hope it will allow me. I want one of you to give me a prompt, a crazy prompt. Give me a crazy prompt. That's an image you want me to create using ChatGPT.
A gorilla standing on its head, rapping to Eminem.
A gorilla standing on its head?
Rapping to an Eminem song.
Okay, so let's do it as an image. I want us to give it that prompt. So now,
Okay.
so let's say singing. A gorilla standing on its head singing. Can we use that?
Sure.
Image. Oh, a gorilla head singing. Let's see how that will come up, right? All right, this is probably not standing on its head, but it shows a gorilla singing. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's we can do another one. You can also do another one. Here's let's still prompt on this one. Here's a gorilla standing on its head, joyfully singing. And as you said, and we'll come to it, some of the prompts that we give or the outputs given by AI might not be accurate or what you need, right? Let's say standing on its head. Let's redo it, or rather, let's improve it, all right?
Probably say doing a headstand.
It's, yes, headstand on its redo and create the image with the gorilla upside down doing headstand singing. Okay, let's see if it will understand that prompt. All right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This is prompt
got it.
engineering. This is what one of you today had spoken about, prompt engineering, being very specific in the content that we give. So that is a very good example. We can use one more example from the audience. Please unmute and give us one prompt of an image, crazy image. Anyone? Let's get interesting in this.
The Pope windsurfing.
Pope?
The Pope Francis
Mhm.
windsurfing in the Indian Ocean or something like that.
This will be interesting. Oh God, let's see. I wasn't able to generate image because it violates content policy. Remember, in fact, I'm glad then you asked that because this is where it comes up with data policy, some certain data policies. Let's do this. Let's remodify that and say, create an image of a Pope windsurfing on the ocean. Maybe they could not use Pope Francis' image, right? See, it's creating. Right?
Yeah. That's good.
This is interesting. All right, good. So these applications that you can create images now using AI. So I want us to go to specific this area of ChatGPT. I don't know if you can see. Explore ChatGPT. ChatGPT is now becoming like Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. There are different service providers that have created GPTs to serve you, right? I'll give a very quick example. You can see there's an application here. I'm going to click on course creator. I want one of you to unmute and give me a course that you want me to create. So this particular GPT is focused on course content creator, can manage and create lessons for you. Need one of you to give me a course that you want us to create. Anyone? Please unmute.
Yes,
Okay, please go ahead.
marketing for entrepreneurs in Kilifi.
Okay. Let's try and use voice. I hope you can see my screen. Hi, ChatGPT, can you hear me? I'm training an audience. I don't know if they can hear you. Allow me just to ask them if they can hear you. Tim, can you hear ChatGPT?
No.
No, we
All right,
can't
I
hear
think what I need to do is to share sound. Let me stop share and share sound. All right, yes, I'll tell you when I'm ready. I'll tell you when I'm ready, and then we can teach them. Sorry, I'm speaking to ChatGPT. My apologies. Share this screen. Share sound. Okay, thank you, ChatGPT. I'll be with you shortly.
Advanced voice. You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
Okay, they're telling me switch to standard. Okay, I've switched to standard. So I want to optimize it for sound right now with the standard voice. I mean, it doesn't matter which sound comes out of it, but with a paid version, you can use any voice that you want. So let us use its standard voice. I will ask it a question and let me know if you can hear the ChatGPT's voice from your end. All right? Can you hear me?
It sounds like you're testing something. But just to clarify, are you asking if I can hear audio from your side?
Yes.
I can't hear anything, but I can
hear?
definitely respond to any questions you have.
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear audio, but I can read everything you type. Let me know how I can help.
Okay, let me try and optimize my mic. Maybe it's about my microphone, same as microphone. Let's see. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. No, that has gone lower. So speakers, system speakers.
I still can't hear audio, but I can see everything you're typing. If you're testing your mic, you might want to check your settings or try a different device. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
How about now? Can you hear me?
I still can't hear anything, but I can read your messages just fine. Let me know how I can help.
Okay, let's create this through using text. Tim, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you,
yes,
but
can you?
how comes she is able to respond when you ask whether he can hear you?
That's what I wanted to ask her. But let's use my phone. Let's on the screen, but let me use my phone because I'm using the same account. Course creators. Course creator. Because the reason I want us to use voice is because then it gets to keep on asking you questions to develop, your content the best way that you want it to be developed. So let me see, course creator. Course content creator. Okay. And tell me if you would be able to hear me. Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for asking. I can't actually hear you, but I can read what you type. What's on your mind?
Let me speak to my audience right now so that you can help me do something with them. Tim, can you hear me? Can you hear the voice on the chat GPT?
Got it.
Yes,
Go ahead
we
and
can.
speak to your audience. No, would you like me to help?
Okay. For the person who had asked for content creation, tell me, what kind of content do you want us to create?
I wanted you to create content around marketing for entrepreneurs in Kilifi County in Kenya.
And I'll help you structure it with a course or lesson.
All right. I want us to create a marketing course for entrepreneurs in a part called Kilifi, Mombasa, Kenya as a country. Create for me a marketing content, marketing course that would take, how many days do you want it to take? How many days should a marketing course take for entrepreneurs where they can dedicate their time to learn? What suggestions do you have?
That sounds like a great idea. For entrepreneurs who are busy running their businesses, a marketing course should be practical and not too long. I'd suggest a 5 to 7 day course with short, focused lessons each day. That way, they can learn without feeling overwhelmed. Would you prefer a 1 week intensive course, or should we spread it out over a couple of weeks to give them time to apply what they learn?
Let's spread it out to a couple of weeks, let's say 5 weeks, but we only do approximately 2 hours in a given weekend. Do you think we can create that?
Yes, that's a great plan. A 5-week course with 2-hour sessions on weekends will give entrepreneurs time to absorb and apply what they learn. I'll create a course outline that spreads key marketing topics over 5 weeks, focusing on practical strategies they can use right away. Before I start, do you want the course to cover digital marketing, traditional marketing, or a mix of both? And should we include topics specific to businesses in Kilifi and Mombasa?
Absolutely, that sounds great. Let's create a course that covers all of them, and please include AI so that marketers or entrepreneurs in Kilifi will be able to understand the use of AI for their businesses, to optimize their businesses and help them optimize their businesses. Make this as an option, not an option, as a module. Please go ahead and create the course content and outline.
Got it? I'll create a 5-week marketing course that covers both digital and traditional marketing with a dedicated module on AI for business optimization.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Here's the course outline. Course title, Practical Marketing for Entrepreneurs in Kilifi, Mombasa. Duration, 5 weeks, 2-hour sessions every weekend. Week 1, Marketing Fundamentals and Business Positioning. Understanding the marketing landscape, traditional versus digital, identifying your target market and customer personas, crafting a unique value proposition UVP, branding basics for small businesses. Week 2, traditional marketing and local business strategies, word of mouth and referral marketing, print advertising, flyers and billboards, networking and community engagement strategies, partnerships and local events to boost visibility. Week 3, digital marketing essentials, social media marketing, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, creating engaging content for your audience, search engine optimization, SEO, for local businesses, introduction to email and SMS marketing. Week 4, AI and automation in marketing, how AI is changing marketing for small businesses, AI-powered tools for social media and content creation, chatbots and automated customer support using AI for data analysis and business decision-making. Week 5, sales, customer retention, and growth strategies. Effective sales techniques for entrepreneurs, customer relationship management, CRM, basics, loyalty programs, and customer retention strategies. Building a long-term growth plan. This course will provide entrepreneurs with practical hands-on strategies they can apply immediately. Does this structure look good? Or would you like any adjustments before I start creating the lesson content?
Looks perfect. Thank you very much. Please put it there.
You have reached the message cap.
Okay, let me just refresh my AI and see if we have this captured. And tell me if this is the kind of content you would create for, let me hope it has updated. Maybe I log in and log out. I'm going to check it shortly, but it should have uploaded. Okay, there you go. Can you see my screen? So this is specifically, and the reason they create this is because their tool has been trained to handle courses. So when you go to explore ChatGPT, so first just check this out. What it can do is to give you maybe to explore it further and possibly give you a lesson plan on how you can create this. So how did I create this? I went to explore GPTs. I hope you can. I put my audio off. Okay. Yes, so you go to course, you choose anything that you want, course creation. We chose a course creation. For example, you prefer this tool. It gives a description, give this assistant either a new topic or an existing policy, PowerPoint or training, and it will help you convert it to a course outline. For RISE 360, you may need to manually tell it to continue generating where it is left off. So if these are okay with you, look at the ratings, they're good. Just start to chat and give it your prompt. For HR managers, for example, okay, I'll just give it an example. You can ask any field that you want. You can explore GPTs in that direction. Let's explore GPTs in the HR. Say onboarding, CV SIFT, CV what? We want to shortlist CVs, CV shortlists. That is not there. CV, not writer. CV and resume evaluations, for example. Let's see if it has a prompt for that. CV and resume evaluator. So all you need to do is to choose one, and then it has 50K users already. So that's one of them. It has a 4.4 rating, very good. And it will tell you. So for example, you want to know how this tool works. You just ask it briefly, explain to me how you work. So you want to know if this will suit you, okay? Just click it and it will tell you, I evaluate resumes by analyzing their relevance, keyword optimizing, formatting, achievements, and clarity. If you provide a job description, I compare the resume against it for a more accurate score, and then I give you detailed breakdown and a final score of 100. So you do is to top 100. So possibly score, give it only filter for me top 10 resumes that will have a score of 80 and above, right? So you upload all your resumes here using this button, choose them, for example, from your email, you downloaded them in a folder, make sure you upload them, and then ask it to analyze for me these and these and these specifics, and so on and so forth. And then it will give you a score based on your specificity. Now I want one of you to give me an industry that you want us to explore using GPT, of a tool that you want to explore. Anyone? There are people in the waiting room. Kindly let them in. Anything you want us to explore with the GPT? Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Anyone who wants to explore a GPT, a tool, let me give one example as you're thinking. What am I? I'm a what? Social media content creation. Let's see. So we have content creation. So look for those that have bigger numbers in terms of joining, right? So the top would highly likely have. So you can see content creation, social media has 5K and above. This one has 4, so these ones are possibly still trying out. And so let's try this content creation and social media plans. Okay, 4.4 rating, 5,000 people are using it. Good. So it means it's working for 5,000 people. So create my March social media campaign to sell Android mobile phones in a market that needs smartphones. Right. So it creates for you, right? So young professional, it gives you the target market. It tells you 5 to 7 times a week. This is what you do. You can use a reel on TikTok, reel shorts, and then it tells you exactly what to plan. Story and QA, carousel post with 3, testimonial post, behind the scenes, limited day 15, challenge launch, closing and conversations, CTA reel, etc. What are the strategies you're looking at? Paid strategy. What can you pay for? What hashtags can you use? And this is Gary V's advice. So you get most people who are, let me admit the people, because they might be missing out a lot. The people who use these strategies, the person who created this GPT is more experienced in social media and SEOs, so that they are more likely to pull data that is relevant to that particular field. Yes, so that we've explored this, I want us to look at another tool very fast. What is one of the tools that we spoke about that might make sense today? Let's talk about the easiest. Let me do this. Gamma presentation. So, for example, you've had a busy week. You're supposed to make a presentation to your board of directors. I want someone to give me a title. Right? Of a presentation that you want me to make. Please give me a title. Unmute, give me a title. Let me share my screen first of all, so that you're all on the same page. Okay. If you want to make clear presentations in seconds, you use Gamma app. Gamma app, for those who've listened to my training, you've seen me use this tool tremendously because it works every time for me. So we want what you do when you go to Gamma app. If you do not have it, I don't think right now they have an optimizable application, an app on Google Play Store. But if you have a laptop, right, this would work for you. Okay, if you have a laptop, this would work for you, or a tablet. So when you go to Gamma app, this is how this is the URL, gamma.app already. Okay, when you go there, register using your email and so on. So we are here in my account and we're going to create a presentation. I need someone to give me a presentation. Okay. Oh, this was for the previous tool. Okay, no problem. When you find time, please go to your ChatGPT and try out a tool that assesses scholarship applicants, right? And explore and play around with it and see what you can come up with. And make sure when you're doing that, you have data to feed it so that it can help you assess, right? Okay, anyone to unmute? Give me a topic. Give me a topic of a presentation you're supposed to make in the next 5 minutes and you have no presentation at all. Give me something. Waiting? Okay, we have something on the chat. Let's see. Effective of leverage on SMEs. Effect of leverage. Would you kindly be specific? What leverage, effect of what leverage on SMEs? Debt leverage. Okay, so let's do this. Effect of, do you want us to say exactly effect of debt leverage on SMEs? Please confirm. The effect of debt leveraging on SMEs. Yeah, okay, good. Let's use that example for GAHA. So what you want to do is you can paste text of what you want, but let's use this. Generate, okay? Let's prompt this. This is the presentation. It gives you, there's a box here. Let's call it the effect of debt leveraging for SMEs in Kenya. I hope you don't mind if we are more specific, right? Okay, is that prompt good for you, Gaha? Yes, okay, great. So generate outline. So we want to generate an outline. That's the outline. I want you to look at it. You can choose to remove, you can choose to add. So the effect of debt leveraging for SMEs, overview of SMEs in Kenya, importance of debt financing for SMEs, risk and challenges of debt leveraging, strategies for effective debt management, regulatory environment, impact of debt, recommendations, and conclusion. Is that okay? Is the outline okay? Great. Okay, it says it's okay. So let's generate. Let's go ahead and generate a presentation. So first, the next thing we're going to do is choose a theme. We're going to choose a theme. Let it open up and give you different themes. Oh, it chose for us a theme. Okay. So you can see it's the presentation done by Tech Mindset Africa, but for this one, it will come as your name because you'll be using your account. Okay. Let it continue. So there's your presentation. You want to, get debt for your organization, but you want your teams or your management to understand how you can leverage on debt. All right. So there's your presentation. And by the way, with these tools, you can turn the images to anything you want. I might not have time to take you through how to do that, but when you go to that, just play around with it and you will see ways in which you can structure the presentation to look the way you want, right? So I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so it uses AI tools like DALL-E to generate images and Mid-Journey. Okay, so this is the presentation. Let's look at the presentation that it has created for you. Okay, effective, and so on and so forth, like that. And when you want to change image, this is where you go. You can see card styling. If you want it, for example, the image to be on the left or on the top, or you want the image on the whole screen, because it understands who I am, it has given me Africa-related image that has been generated. And then overview of SMEs, it gives you content on that, importance of debt financing. It gives you why you should get debt so that you're able to leverage on it. Risks and challenges, it gives you an image that depicts that. In any case you do not like this image, you go to this particular area and click accent image. Just edit the image from here. You can choose it from our website that they've given you, or a data set that they have of different images that suit the mood on the topic you're talking about. Okay, so when you have time, you can go through it. And then strategies for debt effective management, it creates that. See, we have done this in less than 30 seconds. Okay, so this is one of the tools that as an SME or as an ESO, you can use to create your presentations and so on and so forth. So that is Gamma App. Let's have one more tool. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's have one more tool. Let's go to Google AI Studio.
think we've lost Joanne again. So we can give us some few minutes until she fixes it. In the meantime, we can keep the conversation in the chat. John, please fix your audio. I think you're still out on audio.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. My apologies about that. Let's go quickly to Google AI Studio and allow me to share my screen. Allow me to share my screen. Oh, okay. Yes, I can see. I can share. So this is the URL. Okay. AIstudiogoogle.com. You can take a screenshot if you want. AIstudio.google.com. This is what I was talking about. See this area? Okay. This particular area. So you can stream real time. Let's use this tool because this is what we talked about. You can stream real time. This is what you can do live. Talk to Gemini. Show Gemini using your webcam to share what you're looking at. Remember, this is what we were talking about. It's more effective when you use your mobile phone, all right? And then share your screen. Now, I want us to share screen. I think that's the most effective right now, unless I was on the street. Sorry?
I've got everything, but the problem I'm having is, like, is it appearing on your side like the same as I'm seeing here? A lot of sections are having like hashtag null.
Derek, are you talking to me? Maybe you're asking a question.
No,
Okay.
I'm not talking.
Okay, sorry. I think there's another, okay, great. All right, so I want us to use this tool. What do I want to open? Let me open, something.
It's appearing like, and is it, this is the how that appears?
Kindly, if you're not speaking, but please let us.
With the null. Okay, just show me the question there.
Zoom manager, kindly mute with the person. Maybe they're inadvertently speaking, they don't know their mic is on. So I want us to look at, I'm going to open my own Google Drive sheet, all right? And then we are going to talk to it to help us. Maybe they don't know that they're speaking. Kindly help them to mute. Don't worry, I'm going to share my screen shortly. Okay. I just want us to look at data. Okay, and just to look at any data. Let's let me pick one Excel. Registration. Oh, okay. And forgive me, I'm going to, let me hide some cells so that we don't have all the data's exposed. I'm going to hide this. Just hide some of these tools. Hide column. Okay. I'll hide the details in terms of the emails. I don't think the rest of the data will be exposing them in any bad way. Okay, fine. So let me just share my screen, all right? And I hope you'll be able to see exactly what I'm trying to do. What are the use cases of this? So for example, you have your market research, right? What you just need to do is to share your data and ask Google Live to help you analyze this data. Okay, so I'll go to share your screen. Internet here is a bit slow. Let it open. Okay. Let's share a Chrome tab. Registration, university, share. Let me. I want to stop share so that I share sound because it's talking to me. Sorry, Google, I'm on an illustration and I'm trying to illustrate. Just give me 1 minute. We'll have our conversation. If you don't mind, I'm just resetting. All right, team, confirm that you can hear the Google sound. Google sound. Hi, Google, how are you?
Yes, I can hear the Google sound. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. How are you today?
I am fine. Please confirm, allow me to ask my audience. Please confirm that you can hear me, team. You can hear Google?
Yeah, I can hear John. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. You are also requesting for the audience to confirm that they can hear you and the Google sound, is that right?
Yes, so I want us to quickly get into my screen. Can you see what I'm sharing?
Yes, I can see your screen. It appears to be a Google Sheet with a registration form for a course titled AI for Africa course. It includes columns for timestamp, full name, ID number, and other information. Is there anything specific you'd like to discuss about it?
Yes, so I want to, organize my data to make sense. I want to clean this data so that it makes sense to me. How do I go about it?
Okay, you want to organize and clean your data in the Google Sheet so it makes sense to you. There are several ways to do this, such as sorting the columns, using filters, or applying data validation. Which of those options are you more interested in learning about?
Let's go with the first option, please. I want to sort it out using
Okay, let's start with sorting columns. Which column would you like to sort first?
Let's sort the name.
Okay.
The name column. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes, sorting by the full name column is fine. To do this, click on the small triangle next to full name in the header row. A menu will appear, and then you can choose sort A to Z.
Okay, great. So that's what I've done. Thank you for that. So it has sorted for me A to Z, and I want to add a column. I want to organize the different industries that are indicated here. So which of the following challenge areas, this particular column J, I want to make the industries, brought together. So that if it's medical and health, all of them start with medical and health and education and so forth. How do I do that?
Okay, it sounds like you want to group the different industries listed in column J. Which of the following challenge?
All right. Sorry, I know the speaking is getting to you. Zoom manager, kindly mute for me. Anyone who is speaking because it's interfering with the prompt, kindly, if that's okay. Kindly help me mute.
Okay.
Sorry, Google. I'm trying to. I'm trying to manage the voices coming from the meeting. Brian, are you there? Please kindly help me mute anyone who might not be speaking directly.
All right, so thank you.
All right, I think it has gone off. Let me prompt it again. Share with me Chrome tab. And confirm for me, team, if you can hear Google when it speaks.
I am now showing a Google Sheets document, and I hear you well. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, so with this particular column J, I want us to put the data together so that it makes sense.
Okay, so you would like to combine the data in column J so that it makes more sense. Is there anything else I can do to help?
Yes, I want to know the relationship between the students' industry preference to their level in which they're currently learning. How can I portray that on a graph on this Excel sheet? Can you hear me, Google?
So you'd like to represent the relationship between the students' industry preferences in column J and their current academic levels in column G on a graph within this Google Sheet. Is that correct?
Yes, Google, you're correct.
All right, I understand. To create a graph of the relationship between the students' industry preferences in column J and their academic levels in column G, you could use a scatter plot. Would you like me to guide you on how to insert that into the spreadsheet?
Yes, please guide me. Guide me into the spreadsheet, how to create that.
Okay, to insert a scatter plot, first, select the data you want to include in your graph. So that would be all the data in column G and column J, including the headers. Next, click on Insert. Okay, to start, click on the header of column G and drag your mouse down to select all the data in that column. Then, click the header of column J and do the same to select all that data as well. Do you have that selected?
Oh, just a minute. Let me do the selection. Just give me a minute. I think the collections changed, so I'm going to go to that and the level. Okay, the columns are selected. What do I do next? Can you hear me, Google? All right. So I think the network is a bit low. So what I'm trying to demonstrate is when you have time, go to, let me just go back to, I hope you can see my screen, where we are. Go to aistudio.google.com. Try to make it help you understand things on your screen. So if you want to understand a Google Sheet of your results after marketing research on what your teams are saying, use Google real-time, stream real-time, and show your screen and tell it what you want it to do. And it will help you sort this information and make sense out of it. If you want to use certain tools like Power BI, open Power BI if you have access and an account. If you don't and you always wanted to use Power BI, you don't have to go to YouTube and learn about it. Just register with Power BI, share your screen, and say, help me, Google, can you see my screen? I want to understand how to use Power BI to analyze industries in relation to my potential customers. Ask it anything. And if you're on the streets, just to test it and have fun with it, download it on your mobile phone. point it to a certain street and say, Google, I want to go to the city center, this direction. Where do I go? Can you see where I am? This is where I am. And then it will tell you where you are. So how do I get to the city center? So possibly to tell you, go to your map, go to your Google Maps and type But if you're a tourist, you want to know about the history of a place, just point it out, and it will highly likely, because of its Google Map data, it will highly likely tell you the history of that place, or what the function of that place generally is, the people who go there, and so on and so forth. So there's so many applications that we can use with this. If you want to speak to it, and through, for example, a mental issue, you use real-time Google and talk to it. There's you remember we saw talk to Gemini. So say, I'm having this challenge and I don't think I can speak to anyone right now because no one will understand me. Can I speak to you so that we can maybe go through and see what exactly my challenge is, at my workplace, because I'm receiving negative perception, or I get so tired, these days, that there might be something wrong. What do you think could be wrong? So you can chat also with talk to Gemini. You can have a real-time conversation, and Gemini would be your go-to person at that moment when you need it in anything that you want to talk about. So for sure, Gemini is the one I've told you. You can use it. For example, you can show it around your shop, okay? Show it around your shop, the kind of products that you're selling, and say, Google, I'm not selling much of this product. Just look at the structure of my shop. This is how I've placed my items. What would you suggest to optimize sales in my shop? So you could be having a grocery shop. You could be having a small mini market. You could be having anything in your shop. Just show Google around your shop and let Google suggest for you how you can place your products to optimize selling. That is where our AI is helping us in our day-to-day lives. Or you can show it a bathtub or a tool that you do not know how to use. Point to that tool. Show me, I've just bought this machine, or I've been given this machine as a tool, but apparently they didn't attach a menu or a manual. Would you tell me how this machine works? It will immediately, through image, through computer vision, identify what that is, similarly with what it has in its database, in its Google database, and narrate to you how that particular tool works. So there are tremendous applications. Another very good example, show it the ingredients you have in the kitchen. I want you to try this, especially for us who love cooking, okay? Show Google, put ingredients on the table, all right? Put ingredients, rough ingredients. Show Gemini live, okay? Use the camera option, this particular option. Show it and tell him, Gemini, suggest for me what I can make for dinner. I come from Kenya. Use our locally available menus to help me know what I can make with these ingredients. That's all you need. It will talk you through what you can make and how you can make it. So it's a tool that I found interesting and that can help us in our day-to-day lives, okay? So you test it. You want to talk to it about, let's say you're bored, you talk to Gemini. Share your screen if you want to understand something, a certain plant you want to use, in your home, but you've been told that it has poisonous fumes when it's put in closed spaces. Go to Google, plant that, or rather type that plant name, share your screen and say, I've been told about this. Tell me more about this plant. Is it dangerous in my indoors? So Google will get information that it has in its Google. That's the beauty about Google Gemini. It uses information from Google, and we all know that Google is already a powerful tool. So you just need to show that plant. Tell me more about this plant in the context of poisonous indoor. Wood it, and then it will tell you what plant it is, how it's used. If it's poisonous, it will tell you, and the best place to put it for beauty and as well as safety, and so on and so forth. So this is just amongst many tools, that we can talk about. Yes, I can see we have 15 minutes. I I don't know if we'll be able to do our brainstorming session, but let me just share I'm hoping that take a screenshot, and I'm going to open my let me share my screen. I'm going to open my presentation. I want you to take a screenshot of these tools. Okay. There you go. Take a screenshot of these tools and try them in your own way. Research about them, try them. I will create a tool for you, and Assek is going to share this with you. I'm going to create a tool that uses first all these tools. Okay, so I will show you the tool. I will send the link and also the use case, different use cases of that particular tool. And then I'm also going to add more tools on different scenarios, given the feedback that you gave me at the beginning of this session using Menti. So what I'm going to do is create a working tool that you can use for your organization. So for example, I'll give you the working tool for landing AI and help you know how you can use it, different use cases, the tools for ChatGPT, the link, and how you can use, for example, exploring GPT's Gamma as well, Otter AI. You can use Otter AI to join you in meetings that you're not able to attend, and it will bring you this particular tool right here. It will bring you back notes, you know, on what has been discussed and what your key point areas of focus. So it's like you attending, but and now, of course, it's your AI that attends on your behalf, gets notes, summarizes that for you. When you have time, if you've been exploring Canva, try and using prompting Canva to create for you a social media image by just describing to it. You don't have to use the existing tools that are there, or to create for you content as well. Canva is very good for that, and to create for you videos. Another thing I want you to look at, and with amazement, you know, you can see that our newest baby in the market, Sora, on how Sora can create 30 seconds video, 1 minute. The use case of this, future of advertising or future of short films, they're making it in a way that when you pay for Sora, you can create a 5-minute video. All right. And it gives you the quality and real life. So for example, you want 2 people arguing on the streets in Swahili about food. It will give you, because ChatGPT already has audio capabilities, and Sora has video capabilities. It merges, and you create a 5-minute short film. If you want to create an advertisement, right? These are the future use cases. I'm sure you'll be able to use Sora from August because of the tests that they're doing. You can create a 1-minute video, all right? All you need to do is to attach your product. So create for me this product video and show how it can be used. You have to show it exactly how it can. You show a black-skinned man with very smooth, you know, skin, especially from the head to the chest, walking along the beach to show the freshness, and make sure that there are waves that are at the background of that person. Boom. 1-minute video, narration, and so on and so forth. It makes that 1-minute video, and use that for your content creation. Use Sora to create short films on Netflix. Make money out of it. It gives the quality of Netflix. They've even said that. So that's why they are testing it and making sure that we can use it. I hope you're seeing the jobs it's replacing. But it teaches you prompt engineering. It teaches you how to create content yourself. It teaches you millions and millions of other jobs and focus areas that you can do. So for example, for HR managers, take time and use Loxo. Just give it a case scenario. I want to hire a brand manager with this experience from Kenya, or have it open to the world, all right? And then give it that prompt. Just enter. It will sift through LinkedIn contacts, all right, and every other professional platforms, and get for you contacts and details of these people. Use AI, again, even ChatGPT, to sift through those people and get the candidates that you want. Talk AI. If you have a website that does not have an AI ChatGPT, please, this is not the era where you cannot have a chatbot. When you're not there and someone from Singapore is trying to reach you in the middle of the night, but it's during the day at their point and they want their product, you want that person or a client to go away because you don't have no way to capture. But let them talk to you let them talk to talk AI as if it is you, to ask for a product and so on and so forth. If you're able to train it to generate an invoice through bot ChatGPT, get an expert to help you to do that, because Talk can do that. Gamma presentations. I don't even have to say about landing AI, especially for those people who have products and so on and so forth. Train a model to get the best out of your products and choose what you want to do with that information. One tool, I don't think I want to leave here without showing you this tool. No, in fact, I would rather we go over time. I have to show you this tool. It's called Cloudy. All right. This is especially for business people who want to generate reports after research, or who want to analyze data of their customer, given massive data that you have. Okay, I won't go into details, but when you have time, register with Cloudy.ai. I'm going to just briefly show you the interface of it. I might not go into details because it might take some time. But anything you want to do with Cloudy, it's focused on business people, focused on analysis. It is one of the greatest tools I've used professionally. I have to share with you this one. Cloudy. Yeah, Cloudy AI. There we go. I'm going to share my screen on this one. This is for ESOs. In fact, if there's a tool that you should not forget about, I might have spoken about so many things. If there's a tool that you should not forget about, it's Cloudy. Okay. Share your screen. Okay. So it's telling me new. I don't want new. Okay, there you go. So see, this is Cloudy. With Cloudy, you can upload documents and your Google Sheet forms and your Excel sheets, and it analyzes qualitative data qualitatively and quantitative data quantitatively. You can use it to generate reports. You can use it to generate a hackathon. You can use it to summarize presentations that were done on that day and create for you a report to give that team in which you are providing that service for in seconds. And it breaks down given the document that you'll upload with it. So this is one of the tools that you can use for report writing. You can use to identify a particular formula or to automate, it can actually, for someone who was talking about an accounting department, how to automate your budgets, right? Analyze budgets. It can analyze budgets for you and create a predicted budget for the next 3 months. It can analyze your profit and loss sheet. It can help you as well. What you can do, you can go to Google AI Studio and tell it to help you to create what do you call it? A cash flow statement, or rather a cash flow sheet given certain data. Once you've created it, upload it on Cloudy. All right, upload it on Cloudy and help it now to analyze that data for you and tell you how you are doing. This is the work of auditors, by the way, just mind that. This is the work of auditors, what they do in our organizations. If you cannot hire an auditor anymore, I've given you a secret. Upload it on Cloudy. Let it analyze your accounts. For example, you want to go and make an accounting presentation. Let it analyze your accounts, tell you areas in which you need to improve the next time. Is it collecting money from your clients more, Or is it your marketing tools that you need to implement more? Or are there certain costs that you need to cut more? It will give you that analysis, show graphs. It will draw graphs for you, by the way. And this is like 2,300 Kenyan shillings per month on the Pro, and you can analyze massives of data on any department that you want. Again, HR, onboarding, CVs, filter through CVs. Cloudy is one of the most powerful tools I have seen in professional lives. ESOs, you need Cloudy. Take time, try it out, and see what this can do for your business. As I've said, if there's any tool you have not learned today, please use Cloudy. Now, after you've generated your analysis and your report, move to Gamma, upload it. There's an option where you can upload data for it to present a presentation for you. Make now your presentation beautiful, ready for your decision makers to see. And they will, when you enter a room and you show them these things without them having to know that you used AI, you look professional, you've done that efficiently, you've saved a lot of time, a lot of hands-on for people keep on asking for report, this report, this report. You can sit down and work on anything you want using some of these tools that I've shown you today. And I hope that you will take time. If you've not taken a screenshot, please take that screenshot of the AI tools that you can use, test them. And I want to challenge you. And let me give you this challenge so that it's your takeaway today. All right. I know we will not have time to go through it, but in 4 minutes, in the next 4 minutes, I know you can take up this challenge, take that screenshot, and go and try it in your own time. And possibly maybe Assek can help us have another time to do this. I'll share this presentation with you because I've further discussed about how do you implement an AI tool in your organization, the next steps. I'll show you that very quickly. But for your assignment and your brainstorming session when you're alone, I want you to screenshot this. Let me share my screen. There you go. I was going to use breakout rooms for this, but I want you to take it as your own personal assignment. Okay, and even do it on your own. Create a social media campaign calendar using Canva without using their template. So create a social media campaign calendar without using their template. So use their AI tools to do this. Generate social media content using ChatGPT. Remember, we used exploring GPTs. So go to your ChatGPT, explore GPTs, look something for content, social media content creation. I tell them, create for me content that I can use on TikTok. Try that out. See what you have. You can also try and learn how to organize data on a spreadsheet. Pick one of those savings you've had and you've put off because that data is too much. Open it up. Think about what do you want to get from that data. Let AI Google Studio take you through to make sense out of that data. See what you can get from that. Again, if you're a trainer like myself, think about any course you've always wanted to give, but you don't know what direction. Use the voice. The reason I'm saying use the voice part of GPT is because it will ask you questions back and forth until it gets it right. And then it creates a unique course content for you. Try that out, especially for our course content creators. Generate a presentation, challenge yourself, generate a presentation, play around with it. By the way, in that same Gamma, you can download that presentation into PowerPoint, or you can download that presentation into PDF brilliantly. For our higher managers, for our HR managers, try Loxo. Try getting someone, and it will give you live data, by the way. Try that you want to hire a marketer, talk about anyone, and so on and so forth. And also for our HR managers still on you, go to ChatGPT, explore GPTs that can help you in onboarding new staff. Or try out Jasper AI for content creators to do that. But I would encourage our HR managers, just use 2 tools. Start small. Try Loxo and try ChatGPT. in anything that you want to do. Whether is analyzing sentiment analysis of your employees or your clients, right? Of your employees, because those are your duty, and or use Loxo to hire. And then you can use Explore GPTs and embed CVs. For example, you want to hire and you have all this data, let it analyze that for you. All right. Yes, so take a screenshot, do this on your own, and make sure that one way or the other you use Cloudy. But other than that, try out these exercises at your own time. So I will quickly go into this particular slide of what will be the next steps, so that we don't miss this out. It's a very important part of this particular curriculum. Is that now what are the next steps? Now that I've known how to implement, what do I do? Okay. Yes, let me put this away. Let me minimize this. Okay. So if now you're ready and you already want to start using this for your organizations, first, identify areas. Not every part of your organization should use AI. There are those areas that excel when there's person-to-person contact. So do not replace where you do not need to. Don't replace human where you do not to. Remember, I advocate for humanizing AI. Whatever AI tool you use, make sure that you have a better replacement for your team that you want to replace with AI. So for example, it's in developing skills that will help the organization to become better at particular skills that they can learn, or they can use their skills to train your internal AI models to make their work more efficient. So I'm against, what do you call this? Unaccounted or ignorant dismissals because you have a tool that works better. We are human beings. We want to maintain human integrity, and you want to maintain, the people you work with. Have a plan, transition plan. Make sure before you utilize an AI tool, first you look at, can it be used hand in hand with your current, staff? And then once you identify that, for those whom it really has to replace, find better areas in which those people can give you their input, where they will benefit better, or try help them in transition. And even if they have to leave the organization, transition them that you give them enough time for them to have gotten another place so that there's that transition. So I know AI tools can help us do so many things that we feel we don't need many people, but let's do it ethically and let's do it the right way, preserving, human feelings. And then once you've identified your pain points, so let's say it's in your accounting department, your HR department, so on, find out which are the biggest time wasters. What can I do while I automate? What can I automate so that I get into other things? That's the first question I asked when you started. And then set clear goals and start small. Remember, for HR, for example, I gave you only start small with 2 tools. Use it yourself before you train any other person. That you remember, I said you cannot give from an empty cup. Use an AI tool first before you implement it in your organization. Otherwise, you get AI tool telling you that what you're telling them is not accurate, right? So make sure you've mastered how to use it before you train your staff. And then upskill your staff. Ensure everyone understands how to use the chosen AI tools. So don't start using AI tools and start telling people, by the way, you've been costing me much, and I have an AI tool that, no, let's not move in that direction. But make sure that all our staff are trained in very simple tools. If it works for you as the owner of that particular organization, it will work for your employees. Trust me. Monitor and iterate. Make sure that you collect this data. Go to Google AI Studio. Let it make sense for you in this data in terms of, does this AI tool work for my organization, or should I use this given this data that I've just received after my monitoring and evaluation? And then finally, understand data privacy. Always make sure that the data that you collect is maintained and held and accessed only by the tool on a need-to-know basis. And also when you're collecting data, especially to train your models in some of these tools that I've shown you, be inclusive. Inclusive in the sense that, for example, now we're talking about trainings. How do we make sure that people who cannot hear are, you can incorporate sign language AI tools into your training, right? People who cannot understand language barriers, use the diverse language AI tools to do that, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, you see, by just starting small, your mindset shifts, because here the first thing is your mindset. Without a clear mindset and ready to shift, you'll always be battling and struggling with technology or changes. Okay, AI is a technology and it's changing quite fast. You might be discouraged when you see your children or your employees using ChatGPT all the time. No. As a matter of fact, learn how to use ChatGPT more effectively. Don't stop your employees from using ChatGPT. Just give them assignments that rise to the level of ChatGPT that will have them research using ChatGPT and use ChatGPT more effectively than the way they use it to do manual tasks like writing emails. Okay? So don't take away the mindset of your employees or your teams in using AI tools to make their work easier. They are trying to tell you something, that we want more efficient ways. Excuse me. We want more efficient ways to work. Listen to them, but you have to learn it first. Excuse me. You have to learn it first for you to train them. But as you do this, make sure that data of the organization is preserved and used in the right way. Use the right practices, gain more information on how to protect your organization against data manipulation and so on and so forth, and upskill your staff. Upskill them over and over about data. When you're changing something or incorporate something in your organization, make sure your employees know about it and they're trained on it, but also make sure that your stakeholders, your clients, if it's going to affect them, they have a right to know. That is part of data management and privacy. Make sure that all stakeholders are involved in that transition. And whenever you're training a model, be inclusive, gender inclusive, ability and disability inclusive, language inclusive, boundaries, borders inclusive. Be as inclusive as possible, economical, inclusive, financially inclusive. Make sure that your data that you collect is representative and the AI tool that is collected is representative. Allow me to take some water. I should find an AI tool that would replace and continue the conversation when I do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will go to the post-evaluation. I can see we have questions on this. Possibly there are questions, but we'll run a 1 minute evaluation. But incredible capability, I foresee the diminishing of sovereign states defined by geographic boundaries, absolutely. Cooking made easier as well, I know, right? Love this session, appreciated. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Sessions will be available on Assek YouTube channel, brilliant. I love that channel of exposure. Suppose you have sensitive proprietary data that you do not want to take to the internet. Can you still use this? Yes, Smart Talk. Smart Talk maintains only data that is proprietary within your organization and has a way to code so that anyone who tries to access it from your organization and its proprietary data only can be seen by the founders, it will give coded feedback. It will give feedback, but it will be coded. You'll not be able to see. So it will blur that information. So tools like Smalltalk would help in that as well. Kindly send recording. Okay, I am sure Assek is here. Thank you, Coach Joanne. Very powerful presentation. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Very powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Truly appreciate. So I just want you, before you leave, to do for me this final Menti post analysis, so that I get to understand your feedback at the end of this session. All right. So I don't know if that's what you can see. Let me just check. Let me check if you're seeing my Menti. Yes, you are. Okay, as it opens up. Good. Glad. Tell me that you can see my screen. So I'll just go back and go to the post evaluation. Remember how you log into Menti. Go to menti.com. You can start as I prepare. Go to menti.com and put the code that I'm going to share on the screen right now. Okay. Let me share the presentation. Present. Don't worry, I'm going to remove the bar that usually blocks the code. So go to menti.com. If you can see, use that code. Someone kindly put it on the chat, 22776669. And then join the questions. Go to menti.com. You can see it on the screen. Use code 22776669 and start answering the questions. I'll be seeing your questions live. You can like at the end. If you're using your mobile phone, it's applicable on mobile phone. If you're using your laptop, it's applicable on laptop. If you're using tablet, it's applicable on tablet. Great. After the session, how would you rate your understanding of AI and its relevance? Thank you. Someone has given that a 5. Very good. So remember, 1, no understanding, 5, full understanding. All right. So please keep on voting so that I get to understand if you understood the AI session and if you understand better how AI works and its different implications. All right. So how many people do we? I can see we have 6 people who have, I think, voted. Feel free, vote 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Yes, there are people also who have understood. So we are still at the understanding phase. In 10 seconds, allow me to move on to the next. So we have 7 people who have voted, 8 actually. Great, that's great feedback. Thank you. Please let us have a little bit more. Let us have a little bit more. Let's have a little bit more. Go to menti.com and log in through that if you're able. And now we go on to the next question. Which AI tools discussed today are you most excited to try in your ESO organization? Which AI tool discussed today are you most excited to try in your organization? Please put it on the chat there. Cloudy, yay! Have supporters of Cloudy. Right. Any other tool anyone is excited to try? ChatGPT, absolutely. ChatGPT, and encourage your staff to use ChatGPT if they have no one to talk to generally, help them with mental health. You want a team or your teams, whichever teams you're going to talk to, show them how to use voice ChatGPT and let them speak to it about anything, an issue they have at home, and also Google AI Studio. They can also use Google AI Studio and make sure that you use Gemini Talk, Live Talk. Let mental health be priority in your organization, whatever you do. So I love what I'm seeing. Google AI Studio, love it. Gamma, absolutely. ChatGPT, once again, Google AI Studios, Gemini, and so on and so forth. Smart Talk, brilliant. If you want contacts on how to use Smart Talk, talk to me, side chat me. I'm happy to help in that direction. Okay, let's go on to the next question. How confident are you in developing a plan to integrate AI tools in your ESO operations? Do you feel like you're ready to start planning on integrating AI? Okay. Tell me how confident you are in developing a plan to integrate. So remember we said that we need to start using it ourselves and then create a plan to put it in the organization. So if you're confident, if you're still not, I'm hoping that Assek is now going to give us another session and integrate AI tools from A to Z. All right. Okay, for somehow confidence, if we get enough numbers, we can do that in future. Confident, very good, thank you. Very confident, glad that you can now start using AI tools. Good feedback, appreciate your feedback. All right. So what is one AI tool discussed today that you plan to use immediately in your organization, or even let's add in your own personal life? Okay. And how do you envision it helping your operation? Just write, for the sake of time, just write one AI tool that you will use immediately. Right now, after you go off the session, you will try it out. I'm curious to know that. ChatGPT, okay. Google AI Studio, Cloudy, absolutely. I would like to see the results of Cloudy that has helped you analyze a particular report. I'll be very curious. And some presentations made by Gamma, absolutely. Google AI Studio, ChatGPT, good. Thank you. Thank you for that feedback. So if you have any question, maybe one or two, as we close the session, let's give 2 minutes. I'm happy to answer that. Any question, quick question or comment that you have, but I can see you put that in the chat, so there's no need of using this. You can close your Menti and we can stop the presentation. Thank you very much. It has been an honor. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Truly appreciate. Thank you. Let's have some questions or comments. Anything that you can like that comment as well. Let me see if I can like. Can I like? Okay, no. I have to be on the other side of Menti. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciated. I hope some lessons learned, and you're going to use at least, that is my objective. You're going to use at least one tool when you go back to your home, to your workplaces. It has been a pleasure talking to you. In any case, you want to get more contacts, let me just share that on my on this particular slide. I hope you can still see my screen. You can reach out to me at joanne@techmindset-ai.africa, or you can reach out to me. That's my mobile number. Feel free to ask me any question that we might not have addressed, or you need more confidence in using AI. I'm glad to help you out where I can. If I'm not able to reach out immediately, I will ask one of our team members to reach out to you. Thank you very much. Back over to you, Assek. Much appreciated. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you very much, Joanne, for that insightful session. I can see there's a lot of positive feedback coming in. And with this kind of feedback, I'm hoping that each one of you will show up for the physical session happening next week. This is a session that will happen on the 6th of February. That is on Thursday next week in the morning hours. So I'll be sending all of you an email to just RSVP for that session so that we know who will be attending. Other than that, I'd also like to invite you to our next session that is happening today in the afternoon. which is the scaling beyond borders. How can you scale your ESOs beyond